Do you want to save more money and hit your financial goals this year? Stick around as I share with you 5 things that I'll be doing in 2025 to ensure that I'm saving money and I'm building wealth. Hi, I'm Evan, and this year, one of my missions is to take control of my finances. So if you're like me and you want to save more money and build wealth in 2025, stick around as I share with you 5 things that I'm going to be doing this year to make sure that I'm saving more money and I'm starting to build wealth. My very first strategy and the things that I've started to do is to automate my savings. This is very important. I actually started to set this up like towards the end of last year, December. The thing is, this year I'm going to pay myself first. And truth is, out of sight is out of mind. So what I did was to go into my bank accounts and set up like automatic transfers. I already know the period I'm going to be paid, so it will transfer the money automatically to the account that I want the money to be into, my TFSA, to my regular savings account. Like that's the short-term savings account, and that has helped me because honestly, I can't depend on myself to say that I'm going to transfer this money manually, because what if something happens that month and maybe not enough money, or I want to use money for something else? I'll reduce the amount that I actually want to set aside for savings. So the thing is, before I even see the money, it's already on hold and it has been transferred to your account. So that has helped me like tremendously, to be honest. The first time that happened, well, honestly, this is not the first time I'm doing that, but I did stop that at some point. I think last year or almost 2 years ago at this point. I don't remember why I stopped it, but that's very wrong. But this year I'm on a mission to not stop the automatic savings and stuff. January, yes, I started doing that already in January, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. And the thing about me is, when I see like my money increase, like setting aside money in savings, when I check the account and I'm seeing the balance in there, it actually makes me happy. So truth is, I cannot depend on myself to manually transfer the money. What if I plan to send money to somebody, or things happen, honestly, and there are very high chances that I'll reduce the actual amount that I want to set aside to savings. So I set up automatic savings across the accounts I want it to be every 2 weeks. Not every 2 weeks. I get paid on like the 15th, semi-monthly, like 15th and 30th or something. So I set the automatic savings from, I think, the 15th, and then like the last month. You get what I mean? So basically it works for me. So I would advise, if you already know when you're going to get paid, whether every 2 weeks or semi-monthly or monthly or even weekly, just set up automatic savings, no matter how small, even if it's $10, even if it's $20. The thing is, these things add up. So, and when you're used to not seeing the money, to be honest, your mind will not be there. It's money that you cannot touch. Make sure you put in an account that it's not that you just go to ATM and just pull out the money. This method just guarantees that I'm saving money and setting aside money every month without even thinking about this. I did this as well for my investment account. I use Simple for that. So I did an automatic transfer for that, and auto investment. I think it's called recurring investment for some of the ETFs and stocks that I'm investing in. That's very helpful, to be honest. I don't really have to think about, I need to do this manually. To be honest, I actually like the process of manually putting aside the money. I think that's one of the reasons why I stopped that. But bad idea, because the next month I might not feel like putting that much money aside or that amount of money aside. So the automatic savings is one that I'm starting on business on this year. It's money that I don't have access to until I actually need access to it. The main reason why I'm saving for the money. What happens is, once my paycheck comes into the account where my paycheck is going to get deposited in, that money is split across the different savings accounts that I want to save the money in. I use Tangerine Bank, EQ Bank. I use New Bank as well. That's like how I split the money, and of course my Simple for investments. The next thing, and the second tip, is to track my spending. So I do this. This is not the first time I'm doing this, but this year my point is being consistent. My issue is, I'll start, and maybe in the middle of the year I'll just dump it. So that's essentially using a budget tracker. Truth is, you cannot really put your mind to saving money when you don't know what's coming in. You don't know how much you're spending. You don't know how much your bills will be, or how much your expenses will be in a month. You don't know how much your income is. You can't track your spending. You can't know how much you have available to save. So I have this budget tracker that I'm using, and it's linked in my description box if you'd like to get it. It's really helpful. It's very detailed. It has pretty much everything that I need to track my spending, my goals, even down to like credit score tracking, debts, bills, subscriptions, net worth. He has a net worth tracker as well. So it's a very, very good budget tracker. It's in my description box if you like to check it out. But essentially what I'm doing this year is to make sure every day or every other day I'm tracking how much I'm spending. So if I make a purchase or I get a deposit in my bank account or I buy anything, whatever it is that has to do with money leaving me and money coming into my account, I'm tracking it. And honestly, I did that religiously in January. And to be honest, from like by the first week of January, when I realized how much I had spent, I was like, what? Yeah, and it helps me to like keep track of, maybe have that in mind basically, so I know how I'm going to be managing myself for the rest of the month. So I would highly recommend, if you're doing a budget tracker, to like track your spending either daily, every other day, or weekly. I wouldn't say monthly, because by then the whole month is past and you might even miss out on transactions, to be honest. So if you do it on week 1 and you see that okay, you're really hitting the budget real tight, you know that week 2 you like slow down a bit, week 3 you slow down, but if like week 1 you still have room, so like you can kind of gauge and assess yourself and see how you potentially end the month. So it's not like end of the month you're like, what, I'm shocked, I spent the money. But like from week 1 you probably already know, and like it's just easier for me to access it. It's not so easy to track these things, to be honest, but you know, it's a habit that I'm building. And the truth is, consistency, when you do something over and over again, you get used to it and you just adjust. So now I'm used to it. If I spend anything or there's any deposit, for example CRA, what's that thing they deposit, I can't remember, but like any deposit that comes into their account, maybe that night or the next day or 2 days later, I would open my budget tracker and just key everything in, everything I spent. It just really helps, to be honest. It really, really does help, and it helps me to stay track, remember my goals, because like the budget tracker has everything. So I'm seeing like all the things that I set aside. It has like a monthly to-do, so things that I want to do in a month. So it's like in your face almost every time. So you're saying, okay, I haven't done this, I haven't opened that account, I haven't set aside the savings. Okay, I said I was going to hit this certain amount of money in savings, I haven't done that, and they've paid me once already, or they paid me twice, you know, things like that. That's one thing I would highly recommend. I honestly cannot save effectively if I don't know where my money is going. So this year it's one of my missions to track every spend, no matter how little, even if it's 2 cents. Let me just out myself right here. One major category that surprised me, especially even last year, was my Uber Eats. That's like dining out category, buying food or something. Miscellaneous, yeah, random things that I don't need stuff for, like Amazon purchases and things like that. So that category surprised me. Shopping, miscellaneous, and dining out in terms of like Uber Eats. I don't really go out to restaurants more, like a lot, but I'm prone to ordering stuff on Uber Eats to my house. So track your expenses, just track your spending. You'll definitely be surprised. For some people it could be Ubers. That was a category that surprised me, I think 2 years ago at this point. That's why I went to just buy my car, because I was like, this money I'm spending on Uber is actually ridiculous. So let me just have the car instead. But yeah, track your spending, guys. That's all I'm going to say on this category. My next tip is cooking more at home, which, you know, is just following what I talked about. I used to just order stuff, sometimes not really food, like my booba. I love booba, so I ordered that thing like crazy. I ordered booba like crazy. Or like some mornings, if I'm not really, I would say I don't enjoy cooking breakfast, to be honest. So sometimes I would order like breakfast, like, you know, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, and things like that. But this year I'm gonna be cooking more home cooked meals. It's very healthy and you save my money as well. So I'm gonna try and do that more. That's one thing. Not even try, I've already started doing that this year. Honestly, I have not ordered food online or in person. So I know I just started the year, but I'm very proud of myself. You know, some things you just don't need to indulge in as much. It could be coffee for you. You might decide to make your coffee at home instead. I'm not really a crazy coffee person, but I like tea. I won't say I like teas, but I like the Tim Hortons French vanilla and hot chocolate. So what I did was, they sell this thing in Real Canadian Superstore, like the pack of like French vanilla and hot chocolate. It's not expensive. It's better I buy that. So it's like little sachets where you can make yours yourself. If I get that, it's better for me than me going to Tim Hortons to order, you know, a medium size or small size or large size. Not large, I don't take that much, but like it's better for me to have that and make that at home. I just need to boil hot water and put that in than for me to order it from Tim Hortons. So you might want to, you know, make your coffee at home instead of buying coffee every time, or just reduce the coffee intake, to be honest. So for me to make sure that I stick to this, I already have my batch cooking days, which is Fridays or Saturdays. I actually prefer to cook like Friday evenings or Saturday morning, sometimes my Saturdays I like to sleep in. So Friday evenings really work for me. Try to like prep my meals for the week, or at least for the next 3 days or 4 days. Honestly, I don't like food too long in the fridge or freezer, so I won't cook too much. And because it's just me anyway, I just batch cook for like 3 days. By the third day or the fourth day, I already like prep something else that I'm going to cook. That means at work I don't really have to think of, oh my god, what am I going to eat, or things like that. So that would really help me. And also curb my origin diet, because I'm like, oh girl, there's rice at home. There's rice at home. And if you want to, bring out the French vanilla and make yours. Things like that. So that's one thing that I'm going to do. Also, Friday afternoons are kind of like my grocery shopping days for like the new week, just to make sure that my fridge is not empty to the point where I'll just be lazy and just like, you know what, I'm just going to order something from Uber Eats. So I have stuff in the fridge, making sure that my fridge is stocked fully, and then I batch cook my meals. That's saving me some points. You should try it as well if you don't. My fourth tip and fourth thing that I'm going to do is to set clear and realistic financial goals. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to save 100k. Where don't see it? Where don't see it? Set realistic financial goals and clear goals, to be honest. Like, chances are, if you have what you're saving for, if you have something you're looking forward to, there's a high probability you're going to stick to the budget than if you're just, okay, maybe I'll save, or you just set one random huge number just because you want your goal to be, big. You can't do that. You have to set something realistic, and that's where budget also comes in. Once you know how much is coming in, you know how much is going out, you know how much room you have to genuinely save money, what is very realistic for you, where it's not like you're suffering or starving yourself, but it's not like you're overindulging in different things. You would see the categories that you need to spend less and categories that you need to spend more, but the categories you want to just splurge in, because honestly, saving money is good, but I mean, you want to make sure that you are not making yourself too uncomfortable for that. And setting your realistic goals, it could be how much you want to save in your emergency fund, you want to get a car, you want to buy a house, you just want to have certain money aside. So I have like a goal. For example, if you want to save, just as an example, if you want to save 12,000 a year, then you start big and kind of break it down in bits. Then probably I can save $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month, you can split that in two. For example, if you get paid twice, you say, oh, each paycheck I want to save $500, right? Or if you want one paycheck to be for bills and one paycheck to be for savings, then the paycheck that is for savings, you just pull out the 1,000 immediately. And that's where automating your savings come in, because that way you can automate the savings and set the amount that you want to withdraw. So for example, on the 15th of every month, I want to withdraw $500 and send it to this account. Bam, you automate your savings. That's how it's gonna work. If not, it's not going to work, to be honest. Something else I started doing is because I get paid twice a month. Before, I would do half. I would like, for each paycheck I'll pay my bills and set aside half of the savings. The second paycheck I'll do the same. But what I started doing towards the end of last year, I get paid twice. Only one paycheck is going to be used for my savings and like paying off my credit card. Like any expenses I use with my credit card, I just paid off at once, and the second paycheck is going to be for like my tithes and like my bills. So that way I know that, oh, when I get paid this time, this is not for bills, this is just for savings and investments and all those things like that. And then the second one is for bills. It just helps you have a very clear path. It helps you be more organized. To me, it worked for me. It worked for me. So that's what I would really recommend. Have a very clear financial goal and set a certain amount that you know that you can save, and then from that amount split it across 12 months, because we have 12 months in a year, and see how much you can take out. Either you want to save her paycheck, or just want to use one paycheck for savings, things like that, and automate that savings. You guys, I cannot overemphasize on this. You can't trust flesh. You can't trust flesh. You can't trust your flesh that you stick to that savings. You can't trust your flesh. Don't bother. So just automate it, to be honest, except if you have like really high discipline. Like, don't deceive yourself. If you know that you don't have that amount of discipline, just let technology do it for you. Make your life easier and hit your goals while you're at it. Now, the final thing I'm doing is to practice a 10-day rule. I'll say 7 to 10 day rule. 7 to 10 day rule. I can be an impulse buyer. So I see something I don't plan to buy. I didn't even think to buy it. I don't even need it right now, but it just looks so good. I'll buy it. Everything everyone wants, I will get. I'll buy it. So what I'm doing now is for purchases that honestly I don't need right now. That honestly, if you wake me up tomorrow, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I haven't got this thing. It's not like, oh my god, I needed this thing. Then I'm gonna give myself 7 to 10 days before I purchase it. Truth is, by day 2, I might not remember I needed it. right? Or I might push it to something I push, oh, I'll get it for my birthday, or I'll get it for myself as a Christmas gift. You don't have to buy it this January, you don't have to buy it in February, you don't have to buy it in March, you can buy it in December, right? So when you save up for it, or if I really, really want it, then I'm going to save up for it. Like, that's where sinking funds come in. If you don't know about sinking funds, like, you can create different saving buckets for different things that you want, for a vacation, for big purchases, or shopping, or this new bag, this new shoe, this outfit, this new phone, this new iPad. I really want an iPad real bad. But yeah, I'll give myself that time to think about it, and if I really want it, if I can afford it at that time, then I'll do it. If not, then I'm going to save for it. I'm putting in my sinking funds, and when the money is complete, I'll buy it guilt-free. And truth is, sometimes you realize that you don't even need the product, so you don't need to impulse buy. Essentially, this role has really helped me prioritize what I really need, what adds value to my life, what I really want. For example, I really want an iPad, but I'm not going to buy it now. I already have one, but I have the mini one, so I want the bigger one. So I'm going to save for it. If I really still want it, I'm going to save for it for sure. I'm not going to just go to Apple Store right now and just swipe my card, or if I'm just passing the mall and I see it and then swipe my card, which I probably would have done before. But yeah, those are the things I'm trying to stick to and do this year. To be honest, I've started doing all 5 things I talked about, and these habits have really made a huge difference already in my life, especially just seeing January starting already, and like the progress that I've made, and I'm sure it will add value to your life as well. Remember, every small step adds up. Every small step adds up. You're spending $10 each day on coffee, it's just $10, but in a week, if you do it 5 times, that's already $50 gone. Like, every little thing adds up over time. So I would love to hear your 2025 savings goals, or what you're doing, or the strategies you're taking. So drop them in the comments. Let's discuss. Let's talk about this. How are we going to take control of our finances in 2025? If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share it to a friend, share to a family, share to your colleagues, share to everybody that you know, and please leave a comment so that we can chat about this topic, or like tips so I can also learn from you guys and add to this list, honestly. Anyway, share it to someone that is working on the savings goal, or someone that you want to work together with to take control of your finances. Let's make 2025 the year that we do exploits in our finances. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.